beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing.
I'm Peter Drury, and providing analysis and expert opinion alongside me will be Jim Beglin.
Thanks for that, Peter, and may I say a big hello to everyone.
And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform.
The crowd rises for the national anthem of Portugal.
Now that was impressive.
Well, this is the perfect game for all parties, not least the neutrals who've just come to enjoy it.
Well, I wouldn't just look at this being another friendly, Peter.
Is that your own experience?
Yeah, if the opposition played like they meant business, we were obliged to return the favour. I don't think there's much difference here.
So it's away we go then. Colombia have gone 4-3-3. Jim, how do you interpret that?
Well, one of the attacking advantages in this setup, Peter, is the impact that can be made between fullbacks and the attacking wide players. These combinations, when worked well, can be a real handful for any opposition, and we're likely to witness that again. You often see the wide man drift inside to allow the fullback to make the run out wide, and it can just throw the opposition off kilter.
Oh, well played. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Well, Peter, I think this fella, Luis Diaz, will have a key role in being the link man. He's so good when it comes to progressing the ball up the pitch, and he'll often drop deep to do that. Above all, though, I like his feisty.
Suarez! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Vitinha.
Can he get it through? Good read, needed to be. Sanchez. Portugal so far providing no real test at all for the goalkeeper. That's a sharp pass.
Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. It's a promising position.
João Neves. Well, good play on the left-hand side here.
Aimed beyond the defence.
And this is Ronaldo. Chance! He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post.
It's going wide left. Just 5 minutes left until the break. That's a good ball out wide. And here's Bernardo Silva. João Cancelo. Great chance! There it is!
That couldn't have been a more potent injection of belief for this team. Top man, top drawer.
Piercing, and with pinpoint accuracy, he forces it through.
Yeah, Peter, I think we've got to give the keeper some slack here because he didn't have the greatest view of that, but you've got to give the scorer his due as well. I mean, he had that sharpness of mind and clinical edge.
Portugal are in front now, the game's only goal.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to scrap whatever they had in mind for the half-time team talks.
That's it, 45 minutes up. There's been no shortage of industry or intent thus far. A little inspiration and inventiveness perhaps the only things lacking. Portugal leading by 1 at the break.
Yeah, on the face of it, it looks a fair reflection of what we've all seen, Peter. Some incisive play one side, battling qualities on the other. I think this game is there to be won, and a minor tweak maybe all it needs to change it.
Portugal leading via the game's only goal, 1-0 at the break. So off we go again. Portugal leading courtesy of the game's only goal. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Can he finish? And that's a sharp finish. And this is getting better and better. He made it happen, squeezed through with sheer will and considerable accuracy.
Well, I'm sat here, Peter, thinking that the keeper might have done a little better then. Maybe his positioning wasn't great, but then again, I don't think he had a wonderful view of it.
Portugal are doing very nicely, thank you.
Well, now's the time you could afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third.
Shot a goal! And it's there! And with that, it is pretty much a done deal. You give him an inch and he'll take a mile. Such immaculate precision.
The keeper might have been a little unsighted. He seemed awfully late in reacting to that.
"3-0 and things are starting to look awfully cosy.
Well, their manager seems to have them always thinking about the next goal. When's the next goal coming? They're such an entertaining watch.
Well, that pass isn't the best. Cristiano Ronaldo looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Yeah, as you'd expect, Peter, that defence ought to know when to step up or drop off. And they finally made a decision to get tighter.
Diaz.
And the counter is on.
That's a nicely shaped ball. And he's picked it up out wide. Tries a shot! And there's a goal! It could be a lifeline! 2 more needed! It looked as though it'd gone too wide. He wasn't having that though, and somehow he found the angle.
Peter, you have to have a certain imagination to produce the incredible, and that was incredible.
So could they be onto something here? Vitinha, Araujo, pressing high and with purpose. And it's Bruno Fernandes. He won't be happy with that one. Sanchez for Lerma. Vitinha.
Oh, this is a terrific run.
He's in a good position. Shoots! And again! And he's stuck it away!
But that is not going to count.
Yeah, just fractionally late, but it's the right call.
Disappointment and relief on either side. Nothing doing.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
Well, to wait until now to make this change seems a bit baffling. He's expecting the miraculous to turn this around from here.
Número 26.
Now it's Diaz. And claimed it back swiftly.
Oh, great feat, that.
Now he's running away. Is there any support? He might not need it.
There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Oh, that's a key interception. Sanchez. Gomez. Threads one in.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
João Neves. Mojica. And here's Diaz. Tries to pass. And the finish! And I think we're done. Yes, we are done. Perhaps not quite utopia, not what was entirely desired, but most importantly, they have the result that was of paramount importance. Good enough in the eyes of their people.
Cristiano Ronaldo, voted man of the match, and deservedly so. Well, what are your thoughts on today's game then, Jim?
Well, the look on the manager's face says it all. He knows he set his attack up perfectly, and the players carried out his instructions to the letter, it would seem. Everything working very nicely.
Well, that's it for tonight's match, so it just remains for me to thank Jim Beglin alongside me, and to wish you all a very good evening.